Hi, welcome back. So quite a bit's happened since the last video. I've done a composite mod on this, so we don't need the RF tuning on the TV. Cuts out a whole layer of extra, electronics that's got potential to go wrong and adds interference, makes the picture more blurry. I think from the previous video you saw it was impossible really to get the trimmer pots in a position where it would look okay. It's probably the RF modulator components. So it's a common thing to do on these. It's quite straightforward. It's well documented on the internet. So all it involves doing is just desoldering a resistor off the back of the connector, the center pin of the connector, and then just connecting that center pin to the input, which was the input to the modulator. Recapped it. It's got rid of the sort of annoying hum that there was, which classed as, on a computer this old, what would it have been, 1982, so 40 years or something. They're on the way out. Because this was an issue too, I think, so it was quite early. So what I intend to do in this video is just try loading something off tape. So this came with the computer off, obviously originally, but when I got it on eBay, it had this in there, which was quite good. And this was like, this is like the introductory software that you got with the computer, done by Scion. So in the top, Scion. So they're I think another Cambridge company. Did quite a lot of software for these, especially in the early days. And I think they went on to make bits of hardware like the notebook computers and things, some of the early stuff like that, portable computers. They're quite good back then. To load this, I've got 1990 era Sony Walkman, would you believe? So I've had this for probably 25 years or something, and it unbelievably still works. But there you go, that's the quality of Japanese electronics back then, I think. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So one thing you got to do is put the volume, set the volume level to maximum. So that's that. I've actually tried loading just off camera first, and it did load the introduction. It's actually on side B. So we'll do load, press play on that. And obviously back then, in the 80s, you'd probably have this massive tape deck, which is about this big, like almost twice as big as a computer. And so yeah, there we go, it's starting to load. Whoops, just knocked the camera again. So I'll just pause this, and I might just, when it actually loads a graphic after a while. One thing I do notice though, there is no speaker sound when we're loading. Normally at this point you get like that classic, oh no, tape loading error. Alright, so this has previously just worked. So okay, so yeah, that just typically, as it used to do back then, it failed to load. Just rewind the tape, and I think probably best to just power cycle it. And let's just try it one more time, and if it doesn't work, then just go through the diagnostic check. Oh, in fact, actually, I've got the div MMC. You can load things off as well. There's several options for loading games onto these old computers. I suppose like the yeah, this is like a ROM cartridge that I got. I haven't got the equipment, or probably not the knowledge either to burn ROMs. But that's one option. Then you've got the Div MMC, which you put an SD card in there, and also got a joystick port, reset button, whole menu system. So that's another option. Obviously, you've got the tapes, if you can get them to work. So let's try that again. I don't know if it makes a difference, but I'll try just having the tape, the Walkman vertical this time. Oh, the battery warning lights actually come on. So it could be that it was a new battery, but I'm not sure. See, it finds the first part of it, and then for some reason, a bit later on, just has a tape error. Oh, so this time it did actually find Horizon Side B. And yeah, there you go, it's drawing. It's loading graphics. It's amazing. Back in the 1980s, I think everybody had a lot more patience than they do now. If these days, if things aren't instantly streamable or instantly available, then it's just, you know, people just lose interest. I'm not sure if that's the case everywhere, but oh, there it goes. So stop the tape. So we made it this far. I'm not sure what you meant to do now. It just says stop the tape. Oh, we were just doing some loading. So it appears like that's just loaded that graphic and this menu. So throw the ball. So we've got throw the wall, not throw the ball. Bubble sort, evolution, life, draw, Monte Carlo, character generator, and waves. So I guess we'll just go for one. It's an introductory cassette. Okay. So you just press any key. Alright, VU file. So I guess this is just telling you about different programs, but it wasn't that thing that we saw there. Chess, Honduras. It's not actually sure what you're doing now, and you got to the end of that. Oh, start the tape again. Hang on. D-break. No, so that's not right. So I must have pressed space and it broke out of there. To go back in, go through all that, I'll just press enter this time. Right, that's more like it. So assuming I don't have any more tape errors, I don't know if you have to, no, you don't have to press any key. Let's see what it does this time. Oh, and also, I mean, this is, remember, I've only got 16K RAM in this Spectrum at the moment. So what I should have done was check on the tape inlay, which is where all your instructions are, whether it will run on a 16K Spectrum. It doesn't say anywhere, I don't think. I suspect it should do, because a lot of these are basic programs as well, and they're typically not that long, quite simple programs. You did used to say on these cassettes, like if it was 1648K. Oh, stop the tape. Alright. It keeps you on your toes, this does. Throw the wall, stop the tape, press any key to continue. You can program your own real-time games. Brilliant. So it's P right, O left, and cap shift for extra zip. So I guess this is a breakout type game. Right, let's just any key to start. It's actually cool. No, failed straight away. Oh, come on. Obviously needs a bit of practice. Oh, you can, so your cap shift does actually move it faster. It looks like you get infinite lives as well, which is quite useful. It does a bit of a sort of squash on the ball though, it's quite good detail. So there's no scoring and there's like infinite lives effectively, which is good. This is quite a good game actually. And loaded off a real tape, which is unbelievable. We did have that loading error, but seemed that could just be down to the tape being so old. You know, it's probably not been used, and they kind of, I suppose they are mechanical tapes, aren't they? So they could seize up a bit. Anyway, I think what I'll do is, it didn't have any indication of what the score or how many lives you had left, but there is a score on that. So yeah, these are in basic. I think you could just press break somehow, if you could break out of that. Yeah, and you can break into there and list the code, which is quite good. There you go, that's all the code for that. And you could, from this, and this combined with the really excellent instruction manual that came with this computer, you could go a long way to being pretty good at basic programming using that. What I was going to do as part of this video was load up the diagnostic ROM again, but it's pretty clear that it does work. I'll just do that anyway, just as a an extra thing for my benefit, just to see that it did pass whatever tests it did pass at this point in time. I'm almost doing all these YouTube videos just as a record to see that something did at one point work. Let's set this up for the memory test. I think that's that one. Yeah, so you can press the keyboard at this point to run different types of tests, which you might actually do as well. There you go, lower 16K RAM test pass, and actually the colour's a lot better there, you can see. We've only got 16K, so all these ones will fail. So what I'm proposing to do, I think, is put the upgrade kit in for the upper 32K. It's totally reversible. It's it's all socketed. I think there's one jump you have to solder a bit of wire across, but that's really reversible as well, and it makes it a lot more usable as a system. So what we can do is run that again. So there's a reset button on this as well. So if you press U on there while that's the loading screen, that's going to ULA ASIC test. So we're sure they were getting smooth movement across. So there's different tests you can run. I think that number 5, port addressing, flashing green border, pass everything else, fail. So actually, you can do that while it stops the interrupt test moving. Number 3, border generation. Yeah. As I say, this computer now, as far as I can tell, and as far as the tests show, is fully working. And it was quite an interesting process, really, to get to this point. It wasn't really that difficult. As a summary, I think all that was really wrong with this was one of the transistors in the DC to DC power supply, which was that's called TR4. I think I replaced that with a ZTX651. That was dead easy. Recapping it, it was a good thing to do, just because all the electrolytic capacitors were quite old. Did the composite mod, and yeah, it's just worked. There's a really clean board, and it clearly has seen a bit of sort of action from, the keyboard edges there. You can see this thing has had quite a bit of use as well by the looks of it. See on the edge there and on the other side. Anyway, it's good to get one of these old computers working again for the sort of future, I suppose. And I'll definitely be using this. It won't just sit in a cupboard somewhere. I want to keep using these computers. And I always find it's better to use a real one than an emulator as well. It just gives you a more authentic sort of experience. Okay then, thanks for watching, and bye for now.